I'd like to call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please, Mr. Crowdy?
Mr. Raccomando?
Present.
Ms. Borelli? Ms. Ainello?
Present.
Mr. Laurentino?
Present.
Ms. Mahoney?
Present.
Mr. Quinn?
Here.
Ms. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Roloff?
Here.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Do we have students for a report tonight?
No.
Would you like to give the student report tonight for us?
I'd love to.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so for the student report. At the high school, senior banquet will be held on March 19th at the Brownstone. STEMCon will be held tomorrow, Thursday, March 12th. Parents are invited to attend. Board members are invited to attend. If you wear your t-shirt and/or bring the tag or the button that our organizers gave you, that will be your admission. Our marching band will be marching in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Newark on Saturday, March 14th. If they have it, I guess. Yes. Our spring musical, Beauty and the Beast, was March 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Congratulations to Mr. Ortega, our director and producer, and Mr. Malcolm Kudin as vocal coach for a very successful and wonderfully entertaining production. And congratulations to all of the students who were members of the cast for their outstanding singing and performances, stage crew, and of course, the pit. At the middle school, we had 9 students inducted this evening into the National Junior Honor Society in the library, and the new inductees are, and I hope I do not do injustice to their names, Manav Bharat, Valentina Condegni, Helen Kayar, Olivia Pasquaraboko, Thomas Rotella, Emily Reichalik, Sema Sawala, Danica Tanachili, Shakira Zhang. The advisors were Mr. Haas and Mrs. Josephson, and it was a wonderful induction ceremony and very nicely attended event. And 12 middle school students were a part of the production of Beauty and the Beast this past weekend. At Franklin Elementary School, the 5th grade students were proud to present their biography projects at the Wax Museum on February 27th. Heroes such as Abraham Lincoln, Rosa Parks, John F. Kennedy, and Anne Frank were brought to life by the students. Their hard work was recognized by the outstanding turnout of parents, friends, and classmates. Attendance was encouraged by coupling it with monthly no homework night for all Franklin students. Students celebrated the 100th day of school with academic activities as appropriate by their, deemed appropriate by their homeroom teacher. Franklin School was well represented with students and teachers alike. The evidence was in the number of students who were sporting their peace pins and PJs the day after our wellness fair. Great attendance. Read Across America was a highlight for the students at Franklin. They enjoyed being read to by former teachers, members of the Saddlebrook community, Board of Education, family members, and Franklin staff. The Environmental Club has begun their fundraiser to help the Wildlife Information Rescue and Education Service. This is Australia's largest wildlife rescue organization, and donations will help to fund the rescue and care of animals affected by the wildfires in Australia, and Franklin's fundraiser for them will end on March 20th. At Smith Elementary School, the 100th day of school was also celebrated throughout the building as our kindergartners aged 100 years. Our first grade engaged in STEM activities to celebrate 100 days and invited the parents in to join on the fun. February was a very busy month at Smith School, celebrated by Random Acts of Kindness Week, with kindness stations at lunch, cross-grade activities, morning announcements, student greeters, and more. The week concluded with a school-wide P.S. I Love You Day celebration. The Smith ambassadors have done a great job so far this year. These students have helped with various events such as Back to School Night, Unity Day, and P.S. I Love You Day. They work to keep Smith schools safe by participating and being on time for safety patrol. Smith ambassadors are looking forward to being trained for Peace Patrol, which is beginning in late March, early April. Members of the Peace Patrol will help the younger students at Smith solve conflicts on the playground and make sure that everyone has someone to play with. We're very proud of all the staff and students and families who participated in our first evening wellness event. It was a huge success, and the students couldn't stop talking about it afterwards. Our reading pep rally on March 2nd was exciting, engaging, and it's a great new tradition. Our drummers and 5th and 6th grade cheerleaders cheered on and helped us celebrate many different reading accomplishments throughout the building. In addition to sharing our love of reading, we discussed reading goals, accomplishments, and Mrs. Falk and Mrs. Chapman shared their reading goals for 2020. We can't wait to see all of the reading goals that are accomplished by the students by the end of the year. Next time, we'll be setting summer reading goals. My reading goal is to read the books that are on my nightstand, just to get through them. Finally, Smith School was honored to have a visit from NorthJersey.com this week to see our district wellness practices in action. The reporter and photographer were able to see yoga for classrooms, mindful practices, morning meetings in a variety of different grade levels. So I did post on the Facebook page both the short video montage that NorthJersey.com created, as well as about a dozen pictures with captions of our students and our faculty engaged in wellness activities. And tomorrow, in the Record newspaper, there should be a special highlight on the district, our district goal, and the wellness initiatives that we are facilitating here. So I'm really excited to see what our reporter Shayla Brown will be saying. We had a wonderful meeting, and she's very interested in our goal and our event, so she's highlighting it. At Long Memorial School, also, 100th day of school was celebrated with grades K through 2 and a Roaring 20s theme. You know, if you count by 25 times, you hit 100. So Read Across America Week was enjoyed by all of our LMS students, and this year we integrated a diversity theme into our plans. Students in kindergarten through 2nd grade participated in a thematic unit of study using Little Red Riding Hood. Students in grades 3 through 6 explored the story of Cinderella across various cultures. The LMS PTO generously donated new books to our classrooms to support our theme. The week culminated in a cross-grade level buddy reading activity. 1st and 4th grade recently participated in a cross-grade level reading and STEM activity. Responsibility lessons for pillars of character occurred with Mrs. Capani, our school counselor, throughout February. We are proud of all the students and teachers who were in attendance at the district's wellness event on February 25th. Preparations are underway for the annual LMS Wax Museum for grade 5 students. I believe that is next week. Okay, at Washington School, this month, Karen the nurse is getting students excited about heart health. Lessons that will be discussed are healthy eating, exercise, kindness. Students will participate in acts of kindness with their peers. All lessons are taught in a heart costume. That's so cute. We will end the monthly lessons with an indoor field day that will include various fun exercise stations. I had the pleasure of attending Washington School's first annual fashion show, which was an incredible success. And I thought to myself, what are they doing? A fashion show? I don't really get it. But when I went, I figured it out. They were studying. So children are very interested in clothes from a very young age, and investigating clothing at the preschool level is an important avenue to other areas of learning. When they are babies, they feel and tug at their clothes, and as they get older, they become aware of snaps, zippers, and buttons on their clothes. And by the time they're in preschool, they begin to have a distinct preference for clothes that they want to wear. This interest has been the foundation for learning language, literacy, math, social studies, and science skills in their classrooms. And during the course of the study of clothing, we learned that they wear different clothes according to the weather, that clothes come in different sizes, that they're marked with letters or numbers on their tags, Clothes have patterns such as stripes on them and also have words, numbers, and pictures on them. And we learned that we have to take care of our clothes and talked about laundromats, washers and dryers, clotheslines and irons. And then they developed fine motor strength by washing and wringing out clothes in the water table. They counted buttons, connected quantities to numerals. They measured their shoes and their bodies using blocks and mittens. They turned their dramatic play area into a clothing store, practiced math and writing, and they wrote price tags and used the cash register and pretend money. We also made and decorated clothes in the art center. And of course, we dressed up in our dramatic play areas. And during the week of learning about special clothes that people wear to work, they had visits from a lab worker, a police officer, a basketball referee, and a dentist. Our clothing study also offered wonderful literary experiences. They read classic literature such as Caps for Sale, The Mitten, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and Little Red Riding Hood. So this fashion show was incredibly impressive. In athletics, as we wrap up our winter season, we would like to recognize our postseason award and honorees. Indoor track and field, first team, 4x400 relay team, Natalie Travisano, Anna Memja, Caroline Caprellian, Kayla Simon. Second team shot put, Erin Caraway, honorable mention for the triple jump, Anna Menja. Boys basketball, second team all-league player Max Q, an honorable mention to Joe Quimby. And I believe there's a basketball game tonight at 8 o'clock here in the gym. Girls basketball finished the year 18 wins, 8 losses. Highlighting the season was Ashley Georgievich, scoring her 1,000th career point, and head Jeff Coat, I can't say his name, Jeff Horhanich. Thank you, Horhanich, it does look like that. Horhanich recording his 600th career coaching victory. First team all-league players are Ashley Georgievich, Ella Marchesani, second team player Bianca Ianello, an honorable mention to Deanna Achipinti. Wrestling, first team all-league Mike Fastini and Manny Ortiz, honorable mention Andrew Ivanovsky. Lastly, but not least, congratulations to Brook Tulloch, who earned first team all-county, placed third in her region, earning her a trip to Atlantic City as Saddlebrook's first female state qualifier. Please come out and support Saddlebrook High School athletics as we begin the spring season, and follow us on Twitter at SaddlebrookAD. Okay, and everybody get their record tomorrow. Read that article. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. A lot of great things happening here.
Get it here. Thank you.
Now that you've had 30 seconds of time to breathe, would you like to give the superintendent's report?
I think that's enough. Usually I pull things out of there, but since we didn't have students, I just read the whole thing.
Okay. How about the business administrator's report, please?
Thank you. I don't have too much. We did a lot on Monday night, just to tell the board and faculty again and parents that we are cleaning the buildings as best we could, sanitizing the buildings and also the school buses. So the custodians and maintenance crew are doing their part. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to introduce our presentation for this evening, please?
So tonight, we have our Director of Curriculum, Mrs. Tony Violetti, and Deborah Wunder, our principal at Helen I. Smith School, sharing with the board an update on one of our new curriculum adoptions, which is our health education program at the elementary school, the Great Body Shop. Thank you.
If the board would like to go sit in front, please.
Really? Oh, okay. No, one a month, I'm sorry. Did I say a week? Sorry. One packet per month.
One packet per month, there's 4 issues.
Yes, so there's 4 different lessons, my apologies. It is an evidence-based curriculum. It is based for students K through 6, and we're going to go through kind of the different components of the program. It is provided monthly, and it covers things like physical, emotional, social, all the different pieces of the health curriculum, and you'll see as we go a little bit deeper at some of the programs. These are a variety of different topics. Every grade level hits the same topics. So you all have a variety of different levels. Some of you have a kindergarten, some of you have first grade. But what's nice is that every grade does nutrition, looking at it a little bit different. Every grade does injury prevention. Every grade does growth and development. So all those topics are strands that are covered throughout every single grade. What it looks like in kindergarten is very different than what the 2nd, 5th, 6th grade one looks like, but everyone's covering the same topics.
And this is a list of those topics. This is actually posted on our district website, and I will show you where it's located in a little bit. But it goes through each module, and then each grade level K through 6, so you can see how that topic is covered across all the different grade levels. So what we wanted to show you here is what it actually looks like, give you a little bit more of a sample. So here's the K-6 program guide. And as you go through it, it tells you a little bit about the program. It has the same units of study, K through 6, across the grade levels, each topic. And it goes through, like Mrs. Winder just stated, nutrition and how it's covered in kindergarten through grade 6. The other piece I just wanted to quickly show you was how all the materials, teachers have online access to all the materials. So this is the administrator view, so I can see all the different grade levels. But if I log in as a teacher, you have access to your specific grade, you can register your materials, and you can see. So if I click on the implementation guide, you can see to the left that they provide a pre and post test, a critical thinking lesson, an SEL component, social emotional learning component. So it's all there. At the teacher's fingertips, and the lessons are there as well. And if you scroll down, you can see that there's online digital magazines for the teachers to use in their classrooms as well. So as the students are holding the magazines, they're able to go through it together. So it is aligned with all of these standards that you see up there, as well as our New Jersey state standards. And our New Jersey state standards are currently being revised, but this program seems to be keeping up to date with all the standards across the nation. So I have no doubt that they will continue to do so. I also just want to share that the goal is for every student to take home these magazines as they go through them, but due to a technical issue on their side, we weren't able to purchase a magazine for every student in the younger grades. So that we're going to revise that next year. Something else we're working on for next year is providing more PD for the teachers so that they're able to really utilize the program to its fullest potential. Because as I said, those online components and pieces of it, we just need time to work with the teachers to go through all of that. So those are some of our goals for next year as we continue with the program.
So one of the things that we've noticed around the building is when we roll out something new, we typically provide extensive PD, and we have a lot of areas of focus. So this is a program that is one that is newer for us. So we are starting to build in, going forward, time for them to start to see all those resources. This year, the goal was to get this program in the teachers' and the students' hands and start developing that. So they're getting more familiar with it. So you will see us adding those other elements. One of the things we were doing this spring is trying to get some feedback from the staff. What's working, what's not, what are they comfortable with, what elements. So we're now taking all that information. I luckily had the opportunity to look at some of it. Usually I just hear my own building's information, but working with Tony, I was able to kind of see across the board the feedback we're getting. I do think I actually used this program a decade ago when I was a teacher, and the one thing I liked was that each month it kind of gave it all to you in a consolidated form, and you knew exactly what to do. So when you were talking about emotions in first and second grade, it's talking about different scenarios and what's sad and mad, but when you're in fifth grade, the talk you're going to have about emotions and,
things that you're dealing with are going to be very different, and it helps you script those conversations, which sometimes is outside of what you're experienced doing. You're teaching every subject area. Sometimes health can be a little tricky, so this is great because it gives the teachers that information, and it's really focused on what those kids can handle at that grade level and guides you. I do think the more we roll this out, the more information we can provide the teachers. So those pre and post tests, the different supports, those will be added bonuses as we go forward and develop this further and support them with that.
And one of my favorite pieces is the social emotional learning piece, that's one of our district goals, and I'm sure it'll continue to be so, whether it's written or not written. It's something that we can definitely pursue further with the Great Body Shop. So I think that's really interesting. What I want to just quickly show you is how to access the health information. So if you go to departments and you go to curriculum and instruction, not that one, sorry. The one that says curriculum and instruction. And then on the left side, you see all the different pages. And if you go to health instruction, you can see that there's all the units, all the topics that are covered K through 6. And there's a link to the physical education standards and the health standards. And it also lets the parents know that if you want further information or you wish to opt your child out of a specific health unit, reach out to your child's teacher and building principal. So that way that is an option as well, because some of the topics are definitely a little tricky. And like I said, moving forward, I feel the need for definitely more PD for the teachers to really be able to fully utilize the program the way it's meant to be. So we're excited for next year. And that concludes our presentation on the Great Body Shop. Any questions?
Extras if anyone wants to see other ones.
You like sitting there? Hi. Hi. I don't know what's going on. So, Mrs. Wonder and Mrs. Violetti, thank you both very much. One of the things we didn't anticipate with this program was that so at the elementary level, at the upper grades, we do have the nurse involved in some of the health lessons for obvious reasons. All kinds of good stuff, yes. So what I think some of the teachers were looking for some more guidance on was how to broach some of those topics in their classrooms with their students, because it was in the program, appropriately so. 4th grade and up, there are different things. And I think they were a little bit taken aback by the content that they were expected to teach. So we supported them by having the nurse assist them. But as they move forward, they'll have to become a little bit more comfortable with that, because it is in the standards. And they're generalists, and so they teach everything. That doesn't mean we couldn't probably persuade one teacher at each grade level to maybe be the resident expert or something. Somebody who doesn't have a hard time saying certain words. And I also forgot, I wanted to remind everybody that on Wednesday, the 25th, is it the 25th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wednesday the 25th, we are showing, we're hosting a viewing of the documentary Angst, and it is a documentary about essentially anxiety and the effects that anxiety have on both adults and children. I know that Michael Phelps is featured in this film, and it's a very accessible film, and I think certainly in line with one of our district goals. And it is suitable for students age 10 and up, so anybody who wants to come at night and bring their children can. And we're doing permission slips actually for our 6th graders to come up and do the viewing of Angst during the school day, as well as all the students at the middle school and high school. So I hope you can make it on Wednesday the 25th. It's here, 7 o'clock in the auditorium.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Yes, thank you very much. Excellent presentation.
Anybody have any questions for them?
Does any of the board have any questions that came up since we moved to the table?
Mm-hmm.
You're off the hook tonight.
Corona preparedness?
May I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment, please? All in favor? Any opposed? Before I read our long paragraph, is there anybody from the public that would like to speak or make comment tonight? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the public comment? All in favor? Any opposed? We'll go on to board action items, B68 through B71. We have a motion to approve the following. Take that as a second.
Yeah.
Is there any questions or comments regarding that section? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Ooh, who's first this month? I think I did it right. I think it's Ms. Borelli. Ms. Borelli will go first now. Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino? Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Ms. Borelli, education curriculum, please.
Yes. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: E74 and E75.
Second?
Any questions?
Questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but in E75, I'm going to abstain from number 5.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Ms. Roloff, budget, finance, and facilities, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: F243 through F261. Any questions?
Wait a second.
Seeing no questions or comments? Roll call, please, Mr. Crotty.
Second?
In a second.
Oh, I thought we had a
That's right.
second.
Okay, now. Okay, Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but on F244, I'm going to abstain from check numbers 769, 1096, and check number 56945. And then I am going to abstain from F250.
And yes to all the rest, right?
Yes, to the rest of them, yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes to all, but in item F244, I'm going to abstain from check number 870 and check number 1198.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Moving to policy, Ms. Ianello, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. For the first reading of bylaws, bylaw 143.2 through 154. For the second reading of policy and bylaws, P9541 through B143. Any questions?
Are there any questions, comments on these policies at this point? Seeing none, Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Ms. Mahoney, negotiations, please.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: N11.
Didn't we do that already?
Second?
Any question, comment, discussion? Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Ms. Zattarelli, personnel, please.
I think it's Mr. Accomando now.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are correct. Mr. Accomando, personnel.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items, P150 through P487.
Can I have a second, please?
Second?
Any question, comment?
Yes, through the chair. Since the agenda came out, I received a couple of phone calls to just clarify, is there enough girls for the lacrosse team?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I think there's enough for 2 teams.
Okay, that's my first question. And my second question is on P485. Are we going to replace that position?
We've already advertised for that position because she is moving back into the classroom.
Okay.
So she is you see her in 487 as well.
Yeah, no, I
But
wasn't,
yes, we have posted and,
I was talking about the position.
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Any other questions, comments? Mr. Crotty? Oh,
I do have a question also. I don't know if I'm allowed. On 487, what step is she being paid on?
1
1.
through 3 is 1 step.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ainello?
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from P479.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes to all except P487.
No on 487?
Yes, please.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
If I may, before...
Go ahead, please.
On P484, I'd just like to, she surprised me by coming here to introduce our new payroll person, and I hope she gets here soon, Ms. Nilsa Benitez, if you stand up or raise your hand. Congratulations. Please get here as soon as you can.
Welcome. Anything else? Any additional information from committee reports anybody wants to share? Ms. Roloff?
Okay. So, the committee met on February 24th and March 2nd mainly to review the proposed 2021 budget. We reviewed the agenda items. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
I didn't find any appointments,
That's because I don't have it printed out. I can't with this. Okay, purchases under the John Brody Trust Fund, installation of bleachers at softball field at Smith School, and the replacement of the fencing that surrounds the track at the middle school, high school. Bids for HVAC and office renovations, technology lease purchase of 2019 to 2020. Under facilities, there will be a tree removal and trimming along the parking lot at the middle school, high school. The tree branches that hang over the parking lot will be trimmed back and the dead trees will be removed, thank God. Budget. We reviewed state aid and calculations, reviewed the proposed budget accounts, review separate proposals, one question for air conditioner, both gyms and middle school, high school, and installation of lights on the athletic field at the middle school, high school. The committee also discussed another question for a student assistance coordinator, but did not recommend to move forward with this. Public hearing and adoption, the committee discussed the public hearing and adoption date of May 4, 2020, and it was agreed. And I just want to thank the STEM for giving us these wonderful T-shirts to wear tomorrow. So please show up so you can see us in our T-shirts.
I didn't quite catch that.
So,
It's Deb, not Siri.
just Deb Siri. So that is Ms. Alana Resnick and David Haas.
Yes, okay, them too. Thank you.
Any other committee reports? Do we have any liaison reports this time? Moving right along, correspondence? Old business? New business?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a question. This weekend, the Saddlebrook Spirit Leaders have a meet in Rhode Island. Is there any way we can have that, or ask, because there are students, to have that postponed because of what's going on with this virus? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Anytime you want to, thank you.
Thank you.
The company can.
Okay.
So wherever it's taking place, someone cancels up there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Ms. Owen?
I would just like to thank the custodians for this weekend with all of their work around the play. They helped the Music Association with so many things, setting up the concession stands and everything, and they were just wonderful and so helpful, and I just want to thank them for all their work, and also to the teachers who chaperoned and helped us at the door and helped get people seated and everything, so I just want to thank them for all their extra work.
Thank you.
Mr. Karati, I believe I received an email regarding our governance online
Training?
Training
training,
Okay.
correct?
Okay.
for you or in general?
Just, I know I received one, and it didn't specifically say which one they wanted me to take. I mean, I've been here for quite a while.
You have to check.
You were just re-elected, correct?
No.
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 Oh,
Yeah,
that was last year.
I mean, I went through all of them already twice.
I'll check out.
When you get a chance.
Yeah, I'll check out which one you have to.
No rush, but I want to get on top of that so, before the end of the year comes.
I'll check it out. I'll remind everybody which ones they have to do.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
interesting, because usually it's after your first 3 years, if you go for another term, it's only your first year doing governance for.
Right.
So it might just be an error.
Should I address Corona quickly?
Yes.
I didn't?
Ms.
Yeah, so
Ms. Hanley?
I did not address this before in my report because I addressed it briefly on Monday, but then I forget that I said it already, but I'll say it again. So regarding the coronavirus, as of right now, we're going business as usual. School as usual, events in school as usual. Should something change, then that may change. So we're just trying to keep in place the things that are in place for now, and if things need to change, then they will change. But our goal is not to shut down life as we know it from now through the end of the school year when we don't have any immediate threat. I had a conversation with both the local health department, Bergen County Health Department, the county educational offices I'm in communication with. The Superintendent's Association in Bergen County has been having, our executive board has been having ongoing communications with the county superintendent, and on Monday there is going to be a conference call. So I just want everybody to know that this is something that we discuss every day. It exhausts a good part of our day. We're in communication with Pomptonian to prepare lunches for students who are on free or reduced lunch. In the event that school has to close, we have to meet them at a distribution location to provide them with lunches. And I will be talking to the board in more length and more detail about this a little bit tonight in closed session, just so that they understand, where we are, where we're headed. I have also been in touch with my superintendent's group to find out what other districts are doing, because it's almost like a snow day. So when every single district around you folds and you're the only person who doesn't call the snow day, you don't want to be in that position. And when you're the only person who cancels everything and every district around you hasn't canceled everything, you don't want to be that person either. So we're going slowly and methodically. We're not making any hasty decisions, because I know that there are a lot of things that students have been saving for, fundraising for, preparing for all year long. And we certainly don't want to hastily or unnecessarily cancel things that are important to our kids. But of course, we want to keep them safe. So, so I have like my mom hat on this side and my superintendent hat on this side because I'm thinking both as a parent, and as the leader of this district. So we think about it every day, a lot. And it's not going unattended. Just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Chair, on this subject, there's a lot of misinformation and rumors flying out there as to our school district and what we're doing and what we're not. Is it safe to say that right now the only game plan we have to close would be if the state or county told us to?
Well, if the state or county health department tells us to close, then obviously we would do it. That's very simple. If we were to have, let's say, an outbreak in district, God forbid, if we had an outbreak in district and the county health office didn't shut us down, then we would need to do something. I'm thinking that they would, however. And the only way that the days would count would be if they shut us down and we go into the lesson planning that we're supposed to do. So any days that we call now would come out of our snow days. So we have 2 remaining snow days. And I know that the community has shared multiple times their desire to have, let's say, Easter Monday off. So my hope would be able to give one of those back for Easter Monday. You're saying no? Oh, so, and the other one, I would think, if we still had it, would probably get attached to Memorial Day weekend. So we have blackout dates built in our administrative calendars. If I need to close, I do have those too, but then I wouldn't have that option. But if I needed to close for health, then that's a that's the priority, exactly.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Being that it's called a pandemic or a state of emergency, would that warrant reimbursement of sick time, pay for the board, I'm saying? Would they cover expenses?
It's a good question. So state of emergency means a lot of things. It allows the state to acquire funding that they didn't necessarily have before for a variety of usage. They haven't said to us, now I know because I was watching the news with New York State state of emergency, part of that was so that they could help people get sick time that maybe they didn't have built into their work, and that's what the governor there wanted to do with it. There has been no directive here or even mention of the fact that any funding from the state emergency would go to the local districts.
Mm-hmm.
I would certainly not I wouldn't gamble on that.
I'm saying, because in case we have to call on our maintenance and custodial crew to work overtime to clean up, God forbid there was something, would they cover that expense above and beyond what we had to?
Probably not. My guess would be probably not. But I'll tell you what, if we had an outbreak here, I think it would be beyond our custodial and maintenance cleanup.
Oh, absolutely.
If we had an outbreak here, we would probably need the Department of Health to come in and support that work. At this point, what we're doing is maintaining, and it's funny because I've met with many of our custodians having conversations about what they're doing, what they're using, just like kind of checking up and see what's going on. And I know from the purchase orders that are coming through and all the supplies that they're purchasing and how much, how many disinfecting tabs and disinfecting sprays and disinfecting wipes for computers and technology. I know how much cleaning they're doing because it's way above and beyond what we would normally consume. So that was kind of reassuring. Everything smells really good. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I think it's just the peace of mind and knowing that you walk in and it smells like a nice disinfectant. And I just know that they're working really hard. So, but yes, if we had some sort of an immediate outbreak, I'm sure we would have somebody from the outside cleaning.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just not.
Or right.
No, go ahead.
Okay, just very talk to them. I just want to say at Smith School, in the past, at drop-off, it was like a nightmare, trying to figure it out. But Ms. Wonder and her staff has done wonders because it's so much easier now to pull up. She has everybody moving along. Nobody's just sitting there, getting out the car, walking the kids to the front door where they're not supposed to. So I thank you and everybody that worked so hard in the morning to get everyone out of the car. Thank
The
you.
newspaper liked that.
It was so nice pulling up and everyone's telling you, like, just move along, park there.
It has been a very, very long time since I've heard a compliment about what was happening
At
with
drop-off.
parking at Smith.
Really?
You should feel very good about that.
Yes.
Mr. Crowdy?
Our next policy and budget finance committee meetings were changed from March 30th to Monday, March 23rd. Could we also flip-flop the committee meetings and have budget finance go at 5? And depending on the amount of items we have, maybe we could start policy at 6, but I'll let you know what we have, but 6:30 policy then.
On Monday?
23rd. It was the 30th. Hold on, 24th on the report.
Yeah, which is a Tuesday.
It's
Yeah.
Monday.
Monday the 23rd.
Yeah, thanks.
So what time?
So, but,
It's Long's Turkey Tray that night, so Sylvia will be there. I'll be winning prizes.
no.
Oh, so can
What
you
day,
give
the
us?
23rd?
At 6 o'clock, policies at 6 o'clock on the 23rd.
Right. Can you give the times again, please?
23rd would be 5 o'clock budget finance facilities, and right now 6:30 for policy. There's a chance it might move up a little bit, but it's planned on 6:30.
Any other comments from new business? Okay, I just want to make sure everybody knows the future board meeting. We have on April 20th, the caucus meeting, and April 22nd, the regular meeting, right here in the auditorium at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment for non-agenda items?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Does anybody wish to speak to non-agenda items at the end of the meeting? See? Please.
We made extra copies. We realized when we got up here, do you have an extra one? Sorry. That's why we started late. We realized we were missing a page. Well, we're missing pages 2 and 4.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
I don't have the public one.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Anything else? No? Okay, may I have a motion to close the meeting to public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, we may have a motion to recess into closed executive session to discuss, excuse me, don't worry, it's just a cold, sinus infection, nothing else, to discuss personnel and the coronavirus preparedness per NJSA 1046 Open Public Meetings Act. The subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will not be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait, actually, we didn't get a motion, did we, Ray?
So
No, you
moved.
don't know.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
Room 125? I mean, 127, sorry.
Don't confuse me.